Did you know? There are 10 questions that can make a woman feel desire, confusion, even obsession. These aren't compliments. They aren't cheesy pickup lines from the internet. They're weapons. Each question is designed to go straight through her emotional walls and plant a thought she won't be able to get out of her head. Because while most men talk about themselves, you'll be the man who makes her open up, revealing everything. Machiavelli said it best. Power isn't about what you say. It's about what you can make others reveal. And women don't fall for the man who talks the most. They fall for the man who listens and knows exactly what to ask. These 10 questions seem harmless, but deep inside them are the triggers her mind can't resist. They create mystery, desire, emotional contradiction. The exact mix the female brain needs to start imagining you, obsessing over you, even if she already has better options. This video isn't for men who want quick tricks. It's for men who understand strategy. Because real seduction doesn't happen with words. It happens with feelings. And feelings are where logic dies and attraction takes over. So listen closely. Because if you ask these questions the right way, with the right timing, and know how to use silence as a weapon, you'll be able to spark something in her that most men never will. Let's begin. What does a man do that makes you feel in danger, but makes you want him even more? This question doesn't just explore attraction, it goes straight to her emotional edge. It touches the part of her that most people never ask about. The part where fear and desire blend into one powerful feeling. You're not asking what she wants in a man. You're asking what breaks her balance, what shakes her, and still pulls her closer. That's what makes this question dangerous and unforgettable. Most men try to be safe, nice, predictable, easy to figure out, but this question tells her something without saying it directly. You're not here to be safe. You're here to wake something up inside her. And when you ask it with calm energy, like you're not afraid of the answer, she'll feel it. She might pause, think, look at you differently. Then she'll say something like, I get drawn to men who don't need me, but choose me anyway. Or, I like men who challenge me, but make me feel wanted too. Pay close attention, because whatever she says is her blueprint. Now you know exactly what kind of energy excites her, even if it confuses her. That's your edge. But here's the secret. Don't try to fake that energy. Don't act cold or toxic. Just understand what she craves emotionally, and show her you're capable of creating it without chaos. That balance of presence and unpredictability, of strength and control, that's what creates obsession. She won't understand why she keeps thinking about you, but she will. Because this isn't about logic, it's about the emotional storm you made her feel without ever touching her. And here's the Machiavellian move. Once she gives you her answer, pause for a moment. Look at her and say something like, so what happens when you meet a man like that? Or, and what if I had that same energy? Then, silence. Let her feel it. Let her wonder. Because now, the danger she described, the exact feeling that pulls her in, she's starting to feel it again. Right there. With you. What's your most hidden weakness? The one only someone truly special could ever find. This question doesn't feel loud. It feels like a whisper. It slips past her defenses, softly but powerfully. You're not asking just to know a secret. You're saying something deeper without saying it directly. I want to see the real you, the part you don't show to everyone. That hits her differently. Most men ask surface-level questions. You're asking for something that lives underneath all of that, her most private emotional soft spot, the part of her that's vulnerable, maybe even a little scared of being seen. And that's exactly why this works. Because when you ask this, you're not pushing her. You're inviting her. It's not pressure, it's presence. She might hesitate. She might look away and say something like, I don't know if I should say this. And that's the perfect moment. You don't force her to answer. You smile gently and say, you don't have to. I'm already imagining it. Boom. Now you've created something powerful, a shared emotional space. You've made her feel like you already understand her, even if she didn't say a word. That creates intimacy, not the physical kind, the kind that matters more. The emotional kind that's hard to find and impossible to forget. And here's what makes it stronger. When she feels emotionally safe but slightly exposed, she begins to open more than she planned. Not because you pushed, but because you made her feel seen without demanding anything in return. That's rare, that's powerful, that's unforgettable. Now pay attention to her answer, if she gives one. What she says will tell you how she connects, what scares her, what softens her, what kind of man she lets in. Use that information like a strategist, not to manipulate, but to move with precision. Because the more she reveals, the more connected she'll feel. And the more she'll start to see you as the only one who truly gets her. That's the kind of emotional bond that keeps her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. What's the most dangerous thing someone ever awakened in you? This question sounds simple, but it cuts deep. You're not asking for a story. You're asking her to remember a moment when she felt something intense, wild, and hard to control. A moment where someone touched a part of her that wasn't soft or safe, but real. Most men never go there. They ask about movies, music, or where she wants to travel. Safe topics, predictable, forgettable. But you're asking what lives in her shadow, and telling her, without words, that you can handle it. That's rare. When you ask this, her mind doesn't just search for an answer. It starts wondering, could this man awaken something dangerous in me too? That question lingers. It creates emotional tension, the kind that pulls her in, even if nothing physical happens. Now, here's the secret. Stay calm. No pressure. No need to explain or joke. Just let the silence work. That steady energy makes her feel safe enough to open up. She may smile nervously and say, I don't know if I should tell you this. Perfect. Don't push. Just say gently, it's okay. Sometimes danger is beautiful too. That flips something inside her. Now you're no longer just a guy. You're someone she can be raw with. Someone who sees her. Not just the sweet, polished parts, but her fire. And that kind of presence? That's unforgettable. If she opens up, listen deeply. Don't judge. Let her feel understood. That's how trust is born. Not from playing it safe, but from showing you can stand in the fire with her. Then, after she shares, lean in just slightly and say, interesting. I feel like there's something even more dangerous you're not telling me. Now she's curious. Now she's thinking about what else she's hiding, and what you might awaken in her. That's how you become the obsession. Not with pressure, but with presence. What's the craziest thing you'd do if no one ever found out it was you? This might sound playful on the surface, but it's not a game. It's a key that opens a hidden door inside her mind. When you ask this, you're not just being curious, you're inviting her to step into her private world. The one filled with fantasies, forbidden thoughts, and things she'd never admit out loud. This is the part of her that rarely speaks, but it always imagines, always dreams, always craves. And here you are, giving her a safe space to let that side breathe, without fear, without judgment. She'll likely smile, laugh nervously, or say something like, I probably shouldn't tell you. Perfect. That hesitation is the reaction you want. It means she's already thinking about it. And the moment she starts imagining it, even if she never says it out loud, she's tying that emotion to you. Now you're in her fantasy. Not because you forced it, but because you opened the door and stood there quietly. That's when you say, you don't have to say it. Just thinking it means we already share it. And with that line, you've just created a secret world between the two of you. No touch, no direct flirting, just tension, mystery, imagination. You've given her a thrill and made yourself the reason for it. Now, every time she remembers that thought, she remembers you with it. And that's how mental obsession begins. The best part? You never asked her to say anything. You gave her freedom and left room for her mind to run wild. And when a woman connects her fantasies to your presence, you become more than a man. You become an idea. And ideas are harder to forget than faces. What kind of man is hard for you to forget, even if he wasn't good for you? This question sounds simple, but it's not. You're not just asking about her past, you're asking her to reopen a memory tied to deep, emotional chaos. A man who wasn't right for her, but who made her feel something powerful, something unforgettable. Almost every woman has had a man like that. Not the perfect boyfriend, not the guy who followed the rules, but the one who made her feel alive, confused, desired, on edge, a storm. He may have hurt her, he may have disappeared, but he left something, and she still remembers. You're not asking about her type or who she'd take home to her parents. You're asking about her addiction, the emotional high she doesn't talk about. You're leading her into that part of her mind where logic doesn't live, only raw feeling. But here's what makes it work. You're calm, you're not judging, you're not trying to fix her. You're steady while she recalls something intense. That creates contrast, safety, while she revisits danger. When she starts answering, do not interrupt. Don't make jokes. Don't say, he sounds toxic. That ruins the effect. Instead, respond softly with something like, that says a lot about you. I like what you're showing me. Those words give her permission to keep going, to open up deeper. And when a woman feels emotionally exposed but not judged, something rare happens. She connects, not with the memory, with you. Because you're the one who helped her touch that emotion again. And once she feels that intensity around you, she starts to associate it with you. That's the mark most men never leave. Use this question when there's already a vibe, a quiet moment, a slow walk. Not in the first few minutes, but not after months either. Timing is everything. After she answers, say nothing, hold her gaze, let the silence work. Then say, I feel like I understand you more now. And smile. That one moment, she won't forget it. Because you didn't just hear her story, you held her truth without fear. Has anyone ever attracted you and you didn't know why? At first glance, this question sounds harmless, almost playful. But beneath the surface, it's a psychological trap. You're not asking about her type. You're not asking what she wants in a man. You're asking about something she felt, something that didn't make sense but pulled her in anyway. Now her mind has to search for those moments. The ones where logic broke down and something deeper took over. A glance, a presence, a strange pull she couldn't explain. And as she thinks back, something starts to shift. She begins to wonder, am I feeling that right now with you? That's the real reason this question works. You're not pointing at yourself, you're planting the seed. And once that seed is there, her subconscious starts watering it, without her even realizing it. If she answers yes, if she admits it's happened before, that's your cue. You say, calmly, with a slight smile, sometimes the things we can't explain are the most real. Then you stop. Don't overtalk it. Just let silence hang in the air. Why? Because that silence feels like something. It gives her space to think and to feel. And in that space, the emotional tension builds. Now she's not just recalling past feelings. She's feeling something new, something present. And you're the one tied to it. That's how you slip into her thoughts, not loudly, but quietly. Not by saying, I want you, but by making her wonder, why do I feel this way right now? This kind of emotional confusion, when done right, doesn't push her away. It pulls her in. Because her mind wants to solve it, but her heart wants to stay in it. That's how you move from interesting guy to the man she thinks about at night, without ever needing to explain why. What signs does your body show? When someone attracts you, but you don't want it to show. This question is different. It doesn't ask her if she likes someone. It asks how her body reacts when she's trying to hide it. Which means, you're telling her, I notice what most men miss. You're not being obvious, you're being sharp. And that makes you feel unpredictable. In the best way. As soon as you ask this, her mind starts scanning. She'll think back to moments she felt pulled towards someone but tried to hide it. And while she's remembering that, guess what? Her body is probably doing those exact things. She might start playing with her hair, looking away, smiling nervously. And you're just watching. Not saying much, not chasing, just reading. Then calmly you say, "You just did that now." And you hold your gaze, silent, still, confident, boom. That moment right there is more powerful than any compliment, because it makes her feel exposed, but not in a bad way. She feels seen, not for how she looks, but for something deeper. Her body language, her instinct, her reaction, and that is rare. Most men are waiting for obvious signs. You're reading the signals she doesn't even know she's giving. Now she becomes more self-aware. Every time she's around you, her body will react, and she'll start wondering if you're noticing again. That's where the magic happens, because once she knows you're tuned into her, she can't hide anymore, not from you. This is how attraction builds, not through flirting, but through silent tension. Don't ruin it by laughing or trying to flirt like a boy. Hold the moment, stay calm, let the energy do the work. Here's the twist. When she answers and says something like, "I get shy," or "I smile too much when I like someone," that's your opportunity. You respond with, "Interesting, because I've seen that from you." Say it slowly, casually, then go silent again. It will shake her, just a little, because now she's not thinking about whether she likes you. She's thinking about how much she's already showing it, and that creates a loop in her mind she won't be able to shut off. So remember, this question isn't about information, it's about awareness. And once she becomes aware of how she reacts around you, you've already stepped into her subconscious, and once you're in there, you're hard to remove. How do you act when you start falling for someone, but don't want to admit it? This question is soft, but it cuts deep. It's not a question that asks for logic. It makes her turn inward and look at herself in the mirror. You're not asking if she's fallen in love before. You're asking how she behaves when it starts to happen, and she's trying to fight it. That's a subtle difference, but a powerful one. Because now, her brain isn't thinking about a random guy from the past. It's analyzing what she's doing right now, with you. And if even the smallest part of her feels drawn to you, this question pulls that emotion to the surface. It creates a moment of self-awareness, a mental spotlight. And guess what? You're standing right in it. She might laugh, look away, or say something like, "I act distant," or "I pretend I don't care." And that's when you strike, calmly, playfully, but with impact. You smile and say, "So, if you pull away, that means I'm getting to you?" Now she's caught in a loop, because even if she denies it, she heard it. And that seed is already planted. You've taken a quiet feeling and named it out loud. And the human mind doesn't forget moments like that. This is how you slip into her subconscious. Not by forcing her to feel something, but by making her admit she already might. And here's the deeper power behind this question. You're making her reveal the exact signs she shows when she's falling. So now every time she does those things, she'll wonder if you've noticed. She'll wonder if she's already doing them now. And that tiny thought, it doesn't go away, it grows. So don't rush this question. Ask it when things are calm, when the conversation has slowed down, when there's a bit of tension in the air, but no pressure. That's the perfect moment. Because when a woman feels something and tries to hide it, and you see it anyway, she doesn't forget that. She can't. What left the biggest mark on you from a man, even if he's no longer in your life? This question is quiet, but it carries emotional weight. You're not asking her who hurt her or who changed her. You're asking what he did, what moment, what feeling, what energy left something behind. And that's what makes this question different. Because now she's not just talking about a person. She's revisiting a feeling. Maybe it was a gesture, a look, something simple, but unforgettable. Something that made her feel seen, desired, safe, or completely out of control. And here's the move. When she describes what left that mark, you don't react like a jealous boy. You don't get insecure or ask for names. You listen, you watch, you learn. Because what she's really doing is handing you the blueprint. She's showing you the exact kind of emotional impact that sticks with her, even after a man is gone. And now that you know that, you can start reflecting that same energy in your own way, with your own presence. Not by copying, not by trying too hard, but by carrying the same feeling, the same vibe that reached the deepest part of her. And here's the psychological twist. The human brain doesn't always separate memory from experience. So when she recalls that powerful moment in front of you, her mind begins to connect that feeling with your presence. You become the new face tied to an old fire. That's how you sneak into her emotional system. That's how you go from just some guy to the one who makes her feel something she thought she left behind. She won't even fully understand why she's drawn to you, but she will be. Because this question isn't about the past. It's about replacing the old emotional imprint with you, all without ever saying it out loud. If someone could understand you without you saying a word, what place would they have in your life? This is not just a question, it's an emotional doorway. You're not asking her for a title, like boyfriend or partner. You're asking her to imagine a presence, someone who gets her completely, without explanation, without effort. That's rare. And that's why this question hits so deep. Most people, especially women, are tired of trying to explain who they are, tired of being misunderstood, tired of opening up only to feel judged or ignored. But this question does something different. It quietly says, what if I could understand you without words? The moment she hears it, her brain doesn't analyze it, it feels it. And she starts imagining. She imagines what it would feel like to be seen, fully, accepted, completely, understood, effortlessly. And if you've already created a calm, grounded energy around her, she'll start to picture you in that role, without even realizing it. That's the power of this question. You don't ask her to imagine a future with you. You simply ask her to imagine what that kind of person would mean to her. And her mind does the rest. If she responds with something like, someone like that is rare, you don't try to prove anything. You don't jump in. You simply say, maybe not as rare as you think. Then, you pause. Don't say another word. Let that silence expand. Let it sink in, because silence, when timed right, is not emptiness. It's pressure. It's tension. It's a message. In that quiet moment, she's no longer thinking about the question. She's feeling the answer. And that feeling has your face on it. You didn't force anything. You didn't sell yourself. You just guided her into an emotional space. And let her fill it with you. That's not seduction. That's influence. And the man who can do that, he's not someone she dates. He's someone she remembers. If even one of these questions made you think, just imagine what they'll do to her. Use them with timing, presence, and silence, and you'll create emotions most men never even get close to. Comment below, which one will you try first? Tap like. Subscribe for more videos like this, because words in the right hands aren't just conversation, they're control.